as we get into Vertigo. A quick kill from Elian, dropping Lollipop, a B stack from Nemiga that is quickly rotating, and Winstrike, they've stopped. Little do they know, they could have rushed the site. It was empty, but now going slow here has made Nemiga second guess.
It's made them second guess, and Elian's picked up his second kill. The P250 has rung out twice and rung the bell of Nemiga. MDS, Speedak, and Box going to have to try and somehow salvage this very difficult situation. Speedak still perched on the boxes. Elian's still there. A lot of clarity in this round from Winstrike. You get 2 picks. You're expecting to just swarm the site. We're actually playing this one really slowly. The downside of that, though, Hugo, is it does afford a chance of potential rotation coming from Nemiga and maybe somehow claw this round back.
Yeah, the flank is in, and the player late from this flank on the T side is just left. So Hobbit is no longer watching for it. That means MDS can do a lot of work on the back line. Let's see if that comes through. Hobbit just moved away from the check. Again, timing is everything. He goes back for a third time. And this should be the drop. There it is. I love that from Winstrike. That's so smart. And now he can just run away. He doesn't even need to commit, but just the idea that he's leaving might be enough for Nemiga. The bomb's going to commit here to the A site. They're just looking for kills. Both CTs here, and that's very clear for Winstrike. They've got all the frags, all the fights, and the pistol round behind it. Flawless for Winstrike. That's, yeah, it's very sweaty, Vince. Very sweaty, but it does work.
Hey, you can't fault them. They got the W, they got the success they were looking for, and not a single player dropped down. So, I mean, that's just going to help them that little bit more going through into this buy. I think a few players didn't even take any damage. They can just upgrade that armor, get the Mac-10, already 4 assault rifles, anticipating a force buy, which is forthcoming from Nemiga. So, Winstrike in great shape to kick things off here on Vertigo.
Yeah, force for Nemiga, but fast for Winstrike as they set up towards a little quicker than the last. They're already up and surrounding the A side right now. Box is going to be up with the scout. We got Deegs on the other side for Nemiga. Scout does find a tag early on. Bondit going to look to try and fire back here. But Winstrike, I think we're going to see a lot of this in this game, right, Vince? Like just defaults where teams, they take the top of ramp, they hang around, they look for fights. They know that, you know, rotations are so fast for either side here. The Winstrike, they don't need to worry about the fact that Nemiga know there's 4 players on the ramp because Nemiga can't do anything about it. If they want to get aggressive, or Winstrike are waiting for those kills. So it's just a game of cat and mouse right now where Winstrike wait for Nemiga to make a mistake. Won't happen yet, but we've got a 4th rotation into A, and Speedak finding first blood. That will do.
Very nicely. Downside, though, is they haven't spilled the bomb out into a more open position, so Winstrike can retrieve that, and they're anticipating a potential push as Lackey's watching. Galil spray, Lollipop gets dealt with. 40 seconds left, and this is where you're looking for some exits, or potentially entries, depending which case you look at it, to really come into play for Winstrike. They need to start getting a move on. There's a big kill from Chrisen, but he's also tagged down. So there's 3 players now, around a third of their HP, and they go in for another one. Speedak's been tagged. He has to run back to the site and uses that smoke as a bit of cover.
It does escape. The fact that he even gets out of there alive is impressive enough, but how much longer can he stand the test of time? What a shot from Box through the wall, and he's going to drop Chris and go for the plant. 10 seconds, they got to stick it, the cover's not there, and he's got to get off the bomb. He's got to fight, but fight to his death. And Hobbit, he can trade, but he can't win the round. Oh dear. Box has just done that, right? Speedak gets 3 kills. That's huge, of course, but Box dropping the bomb in through default plant. If he doesn't get that kill, then Winstrike just plant and fall back into you know, the bomb site, and they're fine. So massive scout shot, some huge deagle kills from Speedak, and Nemiga, they save themselves. They find themselves their first round early on. Winstrike now broken.
What a turnaround, just being stalled, stymied, and then culled out. At the end, Winstrike go back in for a full buy. And here's a force with 1 AK and pistols, and Nemiga playing aggressively on ramp this time, switching up the pace, nading down towards the bottom of ramp. Need to be careful. Deagle at that range will get the upper hand on the likes of the MP9s, but they're now going to be taking middle control, Winstrike, and getting a little bit of information in the process.
I like the deep ramp control for Nemiga, pushed very far down here in this round. And they're going to have control. They're going to be able to cut Winstrike out of this position with that utility. So just waiting around right now, waiting to see if Winstrike want to push through this one. They're making noise, and the bomb is still here, so it seems like that's the game plan for Winstrike, but got to fight tooth and nail for it. Flash on Chrism won't be used. They're going in dry. Contact fight. Geo boosted. Oh, that's a messy spray. And he's going to drop to the AK of Hobbit. The one rifle in this round needs to do everything. And it's at least started off.
Yeah, that was rough to watch, honestly. Should have been doing better. Should have got 1 or 2 kills for his troubles, and instead it's going to open up things. Winstrike still yet to get on the site. They have Lollipop to contend with on side with the AK. That's the bomb carrier as well. Lackey goes down.
Oh!
Transfers, beautiful. And the smoke to follow up. So the early rough spray from JO seems like it has been somewhat subsided and nullified. 20 seconds up on the clock. There's an incendiary headed towards ramp. That's going to stall that a little bit longer, and it's not looking good for the T's to win this round.
Yeah, they can't afford to play, every round this slow if they want to actually get on the board. Lollipop's found a third through the smoke, and they might just have to die at this point. 10 seconds. Lollipop's going to hunt them down. He's going for the ace. 5 seconds left on the clock. Get out of there alive, Chris, and get the AK to a safe place. And he may still die after time. This could get dicey. Oh, dear, the wall bang. Lollipop with the ace. And Nemiga, they're going to kill everyone, even after the clock goes down as well. That's a rough one. Chrisen, I don't know why he didn't cross. I guess he's scared of the flank. But at that point, I mean, it's safer than hanging around and getting hunted down by Nemiga rushing a ramp. Yeah,
at that point, you must know they're going to push. There's not really many other choices available. And Winstrike, not only is it into an eco, Chrisen has $150. Like, even in the next round, he's going to be rough. This is a brutal start for Winstrike. After winning the pistol, they've just been destroyed.
And here's the thing that doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, it's the pace, understandable in the opening rounds, but right there, think of the context of that round. Winstrike lose A, so Nemiga no longer are playing A because they've got Geo pushed all the way down. Winstrike get that kill, and then they slow play the site. If they rushed off the back of killing Geo at bottom A, they would have had the site not for free, but fairly uncontested because of those rotates from Nemiga. So, yeah, that's information that Winstrike should surely know, but they didn't really seem like they played like they didn't have a clue. But yeah, making it harder for themselves. Vertigo is a map where pushing off the back of an opening kill can really, really be good, and you see a lot of fast T-sided rounds on this map. So stalling it out of a ramp is okay if you have a game plan, but you can't do it every round. Nemiga are going to know what to expect. And now going into round number 5, another buy-up for Winstrike. Chrisen with the hit, but luckily everyone is armored and rifled up.
Injury planted down to stop the B rush, and it has been successful, at least stalling things off to start off with. Bondik spraying through the smoke, doesn't land anything, could be eating a couple of grenades, but decides to back away, so it's negligible damage. Lackey, though, has been perforated by Speedax M4, so that's an important start to Nemiga. Bondik going to be lining them up, goes for the spray, does a lot of damage to box, but not the kill. So the early encounters going the way of the CTs again.
Yeah, nice opening kill and a chance to back off the back of it as well. Look at Box. He's already begun his rotation to B with deep A ramp control. Nemiga are not fearful of this site anymore. It might be later, though, because players moving up now. Geo going to get checked. Oh, Bondik messy spray, but he gets it done. Resmoke is down, but there's a huge gap. I say a gap. I mean, smoke's barely worked, mate.
The better question is, how much did you actually cover with that smoke? Like, the whole thing was just open.
Yeah.
40 seconds now, Hugo and Winstrike. Not for the first time, taking their sweet time to get onto a site. I mean, they've been pretty indecisive today.
Yeah, CIS Counter-Strike either feels like rush from the start, rush from spawn, or use every second and then some. So right now we're on the latter option. MDS, oh my, how is he alive? He's going to dodge death somehow only for one. Bomb plant can come in. It's the post-plant retaking a 3-on-3 from Nemiga.
Chrisen's now going to be freed up after the plant. Big opening, though, from Nemiga, Lollipop, and Speedak. And Lollipop again. Beautiful retake. Nemiga, 4-1 lead. Winstrike at least do get the bomb plant, so it ticks their economy a little bit forward. But this is certainly not what they're anticipating after winning the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, Lollipop is such a good player as well. And, we saw, this isn't his first team. We saw him a bit in Flipside at one point. I wonder where those guys have gone or where that all has gone. But, yeah, we saw him inside of that team for a bit. We didn't see a whole lot from that roster anyway, but inside of this Belarusian team, he seems to be doing very good work, very good job. So, Right now, 4-1 up against Winstrike on Winstrike's map pick. This is a strong start for Nemiga, but they got to build upon it. Orp looking down the ramp. Actually towards B, rather. Speedak has a long angle. MDS is going to push B as a result. Another big gap in the smoke, but if anything, an opportunity for Nemiga if they want to take it. Instead, they'll take middle. Box looks to fight back. The Molotov dropped and just trying to spot towards construction, at least being able to calm whether Winstrike, make it over for the mid to B, get his AWPer ready for that. Speedak decides to not position for it in case they're close. He's actually going to flash his teammate in, so Box really trying to take fights, but Speedak needs to be careful. They're very close around this corner. Ooh.
Head ripped off, vanquished. Hobbit becomes, and that's going to be a great start again for Nemiga. How many times have we said that already? Early on, as you say, it's the Winstrike's map pick, and just everything seems to have gone horribly wrong since that pistol round. Bit of damage to Geo, but other than that, there's nothing to really talk about for Winstrike. They don't have that much utility. They've got 1 smoke and 2 flashes. They haven't really got that much ground, and again, they're going to be taking their sweet time to get on towards the A site.
Yeah, and a nice mid-round decision. Look at Box. He is in T-spawn. He's just pushed middle. And it feels like Vertigo, man, this map, like, if you just play mid and there's no one there when there's like 50 seconds on the clock and you push, you're never going to get contested. You're never going to get stopped. And so flank coming through, not necessary, not needed, but will do some good damage. Elian down low. His entire team removed from the A site by the defending players of Lollipop and Speedak. And Elian, he's running for the hills. He's looking to save his gun. Doesn't even have the bomb under his control. And MDS will not be letting him inside of B anytime soon. So a 5th round for Nemiga, just continuing to build upon this lead. And yeah, they look very comfortable, right? Winstrike, definitely question marks from both of us on this team on what they're doing right now. But Nemiga have had good answers. Fast rotations, aggressive mid pushes, deep A ramp setups. The AWP is out as well. We've not even seen that on A. And that's typically where it's going to go. So there's a lot left in the barrel here for Nemiga to show off.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the only good news for Winstrike is they have max round loss bonus, so now buy is going to be pretty easy to come by. I actually feel sorry for Box in that last round. He's almost a victim of the success of his teammates on the site because everyone just got massacred. Elian turns around to try and retreat and just walks into Box. Hobbit, though, to kick things off, here we go. Finally, Winstrike have something to be excited about. They've got the opening pick. They've actually got a chance, but they're up against a full purchase. Ooh. And MDS going to spot Elian being boosted up, and has just completely ripped him out.
Yeah, we've seen that sided boost come through a bit, and it often catches players off guard. So not going to be falling for it this time as MDS. Nemiga know what they're doing on this map, and that's honestly good to see, right? Like, this has been a go-to for Winstrike. They picked this map all throughout the CIS RTR, and so obviously very comfortable here. They actually beat Nemiga on it twice there as well, or twice on this map there. So yeah, they've got the experience, but right now maybe that's being used against them. 4-on-4 up on the A site. Nemiga with late rotates, but as we know, it's often a retake site anyway, so not an issue. Flash up, and Gio's going to be the first point of defense. He's going to get smoked off alongside Box. Going to try and throw some grenades onto the plant, but coming in a little bit early perhaps. Winstrike with a chance to get that bomb down.
The plant will go through, bit of chip damage from the grenades. And now the retake is off to a start for the CTs. Lots of damage has been put down. Bondik also taking it. So Hobbit, Bondik, Crizzen, all low. But there's the deke from Hobbit. Geo comes back in with one of his own and now going to be spinning round and gets a second. Bondik spraying up through the wall. Does get one in retaliation. And this is getting a little bit dicey now for the CTs. Although MDS takes the initiative, charges the smoke, and dispatches of Bondik, Hobbit, and Winstrike. Nemiga, successful retake again.
Oh, can he find the AWP? Oh, yes, he can. That was very scary. The round time, almost eludes Nemiga, but they get it in time. And yeah, I love that, right? The tap on the bomb and the MDS, he hits both players spraying. He's behind the smoke, but he knows exactly where they are, and he can just swing on the left side of it, knowing they're not looking at him, and just pivot between kills. And the reloads come through for Winstrike at unfortunate times. So yeah, good round for Nemiga again on the A site retake, despite not having a lot of players there. I thought they almost, oh, nice shot. I thought it was a problem when I saw those grenades go out early. If you're saving a grenade for the plant, wait till you hear the bomb on the site, right? Nemiga wasted their utility in the round prior before Winstrike were even in the site. So luckily not really an issue in the long run, but something Nemiga definitely need to be aware of moving forward, right? Save those grenades for the right time. And, well, they have right now. Look at how much utility is left up for Nemiga. Flash forward is Box. He sees nothing. The Molotov keeps Elian back, but Box doesn't want to overplay his hand. He'll let them walk into the AWP instead, but waits in the site.
Oh, the slow peek into Speedak's crosshair. He's not going to miss that chance. And again, Winstrike is disjointed. It doesn't seem like they're on the same page. They're pushing players in, but there's no real counteractive avenge kill potential. It's another one where Box just gets the freebie on the wide swing. Spray through the smoke. Could not have been better placed, and Hobbit is sent packing, leaving Speedak to clean up the rest of the round. And Hugo, I've got to say, I'm a bit shell-shocked here. Like, I'm not too sure what I'm witnessing.
It's great from Nemiga. Like, again, don't want to take it away from these guys. They clearly know what they're doing. But Winstrike, for a team that has been so good on this map, they look lost. I agree. They are just holding on to A ramp, looking for fights. I don't know why Winstrike aren't going, for example, take that A ramp, but then just instantly go for the execute smokes. There are so many things you can do with that, right? Smoke. I've seen them throw them as well. It's not like they don't know what to do. Throw the left and right smokes, fake the plant, look for fights, throw some grenades, but instead they're just looking for one-on-ones, and Nemiga are stacking A every single round and winning the one-on-ones. So yeah, maybe Winstrike are used to winning those fights and then don't know what to do if they don't. But that's something that you need to patch up now, because Nemiga are in full control of this game. I just want to see something fast for Winstrike, like go for a quick B play, go for a quick A play. It feels like they always stop after they rush.
That's a really good point. I completely agree. It's like a rush into a slow burner, which doesn't really make sense. Like, the other way around kind of makes more sense to me. Yeah. And after a tactical timeout, this is where Nemiga are almost anticipating a fast play, so you can't necessarily do it here from Winstrike. We're not really seeing them follow through and go super aggressive. So it feels like it's more of the same. We'll have to see if it's going to have a different outcome. They're having a little bit more mid presence at the very least. They're mixing it up a tiny bit.
Yeah, mid can be severely useful, with the new B connector. And Lackey, he's not going to fall for that one. Does check MDS in that spot. He's been playing that for a couple of rounds. Finally, Winstrike going B, and they're going to split it from mid. This is excellent, but they need to get the kills in the site. Speedak is still here, putting up a fight. Boxers dropped the mid lurk, and there's another one where that came from. Geo deals with him, and now it's just two. Winstrike, dear, oh dear, this is falling apart again. And with them having lost mid, they don't just want to run gung-ho into B. It's exactly what Nemiga expects. So they take some time, they go silent for a little bit, and they will boost up here, finding nothing from it. But yeah, I mean, these are the positions where if you're Winstrike, what the hell can you even do? Because with every second that passes, Nemiga are getting more and more information. Box is pushing up, and he's clearing out middle as well. The boost comes in on B, but this is going to provide nothing with how Nemiga are playing passive towards the gens.
Yeah, they've got everything in their favor. It's going to have to come out to some explosive entry frags. Speedak is low. Jo's also low, so the two anchor B players a little bit worse for wear, but now Box has shown his hand with the flank, and the rest is cleaned up. And barring the pistol, it's 8 rounds in a row. And honestly, this has been some of the most one-sided Vertigo CT side I've seen. This is like textbook performance. And
that's the thing. It's CT side as well. Like, when you see teams get wrecked by fast T sides, like aggressive rushes and lots of good trading and like stuff like that, it's pretty standard. It's pretty normal. But to see a CT side make a T side look so uncomfortable on this map, it does feel rare. Oh dear, Kristen's going back to throw grenades, but he dropped the bomb and no one picked it back up. They need to go back for that. Winstrike are rushing A without the bomb. What, like these are little mistakes that are going to cost them, as a player has had to retreat, and that's slowed down Winstrike on this approach. Regardless of the slowdown, the smoke is down anyway, so that's cut off their line of sight. They're going to walk up short side, and I like this from Nemiga, falling back at the right time. Lollipop gets caught, though they push the molly. He wasn't ready, and Hobbit's grabbed himself a gun, but it will get quickly and swiftly dealt with. Box might be able to blow that AK out the way as well with a grenade. Instead, he's just going to hang around looking for fights, knowing Winstrike might want to take it back.
Winstrike getting more success out of this round than I was anticipating after that very dodgy start, as you highlighted. And now Lackey's going to be trying to look for that AK in the side. He should have it available to him. Surprised that CTs have given that one up so carelessly, and now he's going to be pushing in towards the smoke. Winstrike up close behind the smoke's going to get the spray down on the first, and there's a perfect shot through the smoke onto MDS. And it's looking good for Winstrike. One of their worst buys could very well be reaping their second round, but not if Speedak has something to say about it. His USP is on fire right now, and Bondik stands between him and a 1v3 clutch. He's playing on the side with his Tech 9. The bomb is planted for him, but Speedak has nades. He has a kit, but now he no longer has the positional advantage, and Winstrike will take it down.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's the gun that Bondik wants in that round, right? Tech 9, if he taps the bomb, Bondik can just spam with that weapon anyway, and it helps that Speedak goes above the boxes. Really nice try from Speedak, 2 out of 3, makes it expensive, makes it close, but also loses the clutch, leaving Winstrike with an AWP and another rifle round. Great round for Winstrike, right? They get it done with a faster approach towards A. I think Box wanted more than one out of that position and probably should have got that as well, considering Winstrike killed both A-site players. Box was pushed by the crane and he let them pass only to get one before he's traded. So that's a fight that really Nemiga were relying on in that round. Without it, well, they won't get the round. And Winstrike are going to try and take mid to B again by the looks of things. A lurk out mid with everyone else hitting those stairs. Smoked off, and MDS pushes, but Bondik spamming back gives away the fact that he can see through the corner, maybe not wanting to play with fire anymore.
Solid nade damage as well. Bondik loses a third of his HP. Krisen is patiently waiting in middle and has a very forward spot. And if Lollipop peeks in, it should be the headshot. Indeed, it shall be. So that opens up some middle control now. Going to force Nemiga to isolate from one another. And this is the case of dividing and potentially conquering. Hobbit now goes through. MDS gets the 1 kill, but traded out instantly. Speedak with his AWP flicking to the head of Krisen. But it may very well be post-plant or not. Hobbit fakes the bomb, hops on top of the box, and just rips the head off of Speedak.
Oh,
but now
no.
JO's going to show his hand. There's 1, there's 2, and the bomb's gone down. It's such an awkward round for Winstrike. 1v1. They desperately need this. They need to get that momentum going back in their favor. They need that economy to build up. But Gio is in such a good spot now, and as he may have just caught the glimpse of Elian round the back of the smoke. Cue the Jaws music. This round's over. Nemiga have put an abrupt end to that 1-round spree.
Oh my, the clutch plays on this team are excellent right now. We saw Speedak almost give it a go on that A site. Gio now in a 1-on-3 of his own. The quick flank is so good. And we talk about those mid pushes that we've been seeing from Gio. Well, right there is the effect of it. He gets so fast behind Winstrike. He is walking up the stairs as they get the entry into B. They try and plant. They think they have a bit of time, a modicum of a moment. And Gio just immediately kills 2. Nice re-aggression on the 3rd. Not what Elian expected. And now Winstrike, once again, they win a round, they instantly lose it. It's not like they're broke, though. They've got the AWP, they've got guns. Lackey's the only one struggling, but, you know, it's all coming down to this round, right? The pressure is on. If you lose this, you are fully ruptured when it comes to money. Nice opening kill for Hobbit. Necessary for Winstrike to win this round. He's taken deep mid control, and that's going to adjust things a lot as Winstrike set up towards A.
Yeah, surprisingly, I fell for that again. That's the exact same position that Krisen was sat in last round, and he got an identical kill. It was deja vu, just a different player that was the assessor, or the aggressor, I should say. And now they are assessing their options as to what to do next. They can smoke off CT side and try and funnel their way into a split on the A site. MDS is playing B alone. Speedak with the AWP up close, anticipating that a push could be forthcoming, but Winstrike have every opportunity here to make this player advantage stick and to get another round underway. Would be their 3rd, but they have 40 seconds to make this work.
Tick-tock on that clock. This gamble for Nemiga towards B is anything but pretty right now. Oh, there's the kill from Hobbit, still lurking mid-side. They're going to try and trade it? They will, but will that give away the information that they're on the wrong side of the map? It doesn't matter. They've lost another fight. With that kill, if Lollipop takes Krisen there, I think Nemiga rush A, but with it going the other way, Winstrike, a 4-on-2 and a bomb plant about to come through. Nemiga realize this one is a little past their pay grade, perhaps. Gonna have to be a save. And I mean, the money isn't there for Nemiga either, Vince. So Winstrike, a couple of rounds here could change everything. It could completely put Nemiga on eco and start to build this T side after all. Like at the end of the day, Nemiga's won the first half. They've got 9 rounds. But Winstrike, a 9-6 with a pistol round, suddenly, you know, the ball's back in their court.
It just goes to show again that you can have a very one-sided CT half, but Just make a couple of wrong turns and things quickly come down around you. And that's a highlight. I mean, Winstrike, they have every chance at bringing this back into a respectable scoreline. Sure, Vertigo is one of those kind of maps where T-sides can be dominant at times, but still, you put yourself in amongst the mix. There's always that chance you can make that second pistol round really work into your favor and start to accelerate back towards that 9 rounds, that start. But Nemiga, do they go in for a buy behind these 2 M4s? They decide against it. They have a round bonus ahead of them, so they're okay to hold fire. Also, with the 2 M4s, of course, they have the potential to potentially just take this round away anyway. So Winstrike got to be really careful. They don't want to walk into a trap, and they may be doing just that. MDS up on the wall, but actually gets traded it out. Wait, he did no damage? I thought he hit Hobbit in the head.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine there. That's unfortunate as well. It's one of the 2 rifles in this round. I like the fact that Nemiga ecoed this one. You know, would have been easy to force up in, considering you have been winning a lot of rounds in this game, but they know that they'd rather have the economy in their favor, and that will come through in the 14th. And of course, as you said, with this one still winnable. But as I say that, I don't know if I believe it. Box now gone on the flank. That was the other rifle here for Nemiga. And even though Winstrike could potentially walk into a full B stack, it's default pistols on all 3 players. And that's not even happening anyway. Winstrike, their expertise is starting to come through. They're throwing grenades towards A, and that might even draw a rotation. Even if not, Nemiga don't... Winstrike shouldn't care, because Nemiga don't have the weaponry to stop them. Lackey about to realize that as well. There's one, maybe a second. Oh, nice trades. What?
Surely not. Surely this isn't possible. Right, he's dead. But just for a moment, I was thinking, hold on a second. How has he ran out wide swung you with the USP and got 2 kills? Like, that's actually insane.
Grabbed a gun as well for a second there. Got a bit dicey, but let's just forget it ever happened. How about that?
I'm sure Winstrike will definitely be on board with that idea. Winstrike, in the meanwhile, though, that is now 3 of the last 4 rounds. So definitely an upward trajectory in terms of their T-half. And Nemiga, hot off the back of a save, going to have full M4s, no kits, though, and no AWP either. So it's full assault rifles. This really is a great opportunity for Winstrike to get back into this one. There's a slight gap in that smoke. Alien peering over the top of it, but cannot see anything.
Oh, just getting spammed. It's going to drop more util, but all that does is give away the fact that he's pushed, and they might just continue to shoot the smoke, or at least have their eyes trained on it. Hobbit in the corner. Tucked away. Boost up as well for the AWP. Oh, that's great. Geo was not ready for that position, and that will be an early kill the way of Winstrike. They've been piecing together these man advantages in the last few rounds, and well, I mean, the results have been there. They've been picking up T rounds. So Winstrike, where do they want to go in a 5-on-4? This is a T-side's bread and butter. This is a dream scenario, as with no trade from Nemiga, it's all about a gamble, and that's exactly what these CTs are going to do. 3 on that A site, sneaking in. With MDS lurking B, he's got to be, passing on any mid information as well if he hears footsteps. No one going mid, though. It's a full A attack for Winstrike into the stack.
Oh, timing's pretty good. The trades are even better. Nemiga are turning this one around. The bomb's been dropped down on ramp. Molotov behind it. So the T's not going to be able to push onto it just yet. They're kept in position. And now Nemiga, knowing that there's probably not enough time for a rotation unless it happens right now, can send down MDS to try and cut this off in its tracks. And Elliott's walking straight into him, head first. He tanks the bullets to the chest. And now Lackey 1-on-2 has 46 HP and 12 seconds. He's also moving up on the B site. There's an incendiary there to greet him. And he just knows he has to save. Like, there's nothing he can really do now.
Yeah, that's I love that from Nemiga. Right there is the middle finger. It's the we're sick and tired of waiting around in these mid rounds for Winstrike to make a decision. And despite Winstrike getting that early A pick, Nemiga go, yeah, let's triple stack A and push it. Because think of it from their perspective. Either what happens is, exactly what happened, and they mow down Winstrike with the bomb with everyone setting up, or they clear out A and they begin a triple flank to B where MDS just has to get 1 on the site. So I love the idea from Nemiga, but I think it wouldn't work against any other team, because the other team would have pushed by then. Winstrike have been playing a lot of slow rounds, and so this one is quite the switch up. Fast towards the top of A, running through the smokes. I respect it for Winstrike, but will it provide results?
At the moment, not. The only results are shrapnel in the teeth. Lackey down to 28. Bondik's not too much better off. That's a beautiful spray. Perfect spray through the wall. Lollipop's going to be triggered at that one. But is it going to be enough for Winstrike to get their 5th round? Because they're still the walking wounded. They're still struggling. Bondik's had a grenade dropped on his head, but now the entries are coming thick and fast, and Nemiga are dropping so very swiftly towards their demise. It's looking good for Winstrike to pick up a 5th, barring an MDS 1 versus 5.
4 kills on the A site, and why aren't Winstrike doing that all half long, right? The great spacing, trading their way into A, not hanging around, not setting up, not holding flanks, just committing as a unit. And it has a flawless round in the books for them. Like, there's no way MDS can win this. Sorry to spoil. This one's done. It's a 5-round half. He's going to run through the smoke, and he's going to get destroyed. So yeah, all that does for me is make me question why we didn't see more of that. Of course, you can't run that every round, but the first time they do it is in number 15, and it works for their cleanest round yet. So great try from Winstrike, but their work is still cut out for them now, moving into what is typically the harder half of the defense. With Nemiga feeling confident, they have a 5-round lead,
which could be extended that little bit further if they can take this second pistol. This second pistol has so much importance for Winstrike. They lose this, they're in real trouble on their map choice.
Lots of util on both sides. Grenades into A early. Oh no, Hobbit's going to get deleted. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Good riddance. No Molotov needed, right? No opportunity. If you get mollied, there's a chance, right? You can get a kill with that. You can get smoked by your teammate. Nope, not allowed. Delete. And now fast up towards A. Nice flashes from Bondik. They set Crescent up well, but he's only good for 1 as Box overwhelmed to sight. Missed shots to Ellie and will eventually say goodnight. And now Bondik is getting pressured himself on top of the boxes. Has not favored Nemiga in this game. And so Bondik will deal with him. And DS holding onto the post plant, and this one looks like a lock-in for Nemiga. Only 1 man left up. He can't do a thing. Good trading from Nemiga, and just like more of a standard A-site round than Winstrike, right? Like that was a go-to. We never saw anything like that until the end of the half.
That was strange, because even the pistol that Winstrike won was when Alien takes a P250, they get 2 opening picks, and they don't rush behind it. They take their sweet time, and they wrap around the back, which it did end up working, but little did we know that was a taster of things to come, except it wouldn't be success on the horizon. So that second pistol, we built this up already, Hugo. There is so much pressure for Winstrike now on the CT side. They're going to deal with it pretty well with an early Deagle frag, but Hobbit has to force himself back.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe. We talked about how there were, 2 games won by Winstrike on this map against Nemiga in the past. Maybe those games played similarly to how Winstrike ran their T side, and Nemiga just had the answers today, right? They realized what was going wrong in those last series, and they patched the problem. It could be an argument as to why this has gone so weirdly, it seems, but yeah, it's not over till it's over. Winstrike, like I said, taking an early kill on A. They're going to wait around as Nemiga do the same, holding on towards the ramp and making sure there's no flank. Oh, Hobbit gets antsy. He goes for info and receives a bullet to the face, but does see the bomb on that kill. So, that's only going to clarify or confirm the fact that Winstrike should be triple stacked here, and that's exactly what they're doing.
The decision is good, but the execution is an entirely different thing altogether, and Nemiga, of course, have a few things to talk about when it comes to bullets and faces. Molotov tossed in, forces Crescent back. There are incendiaries tossed down onto side, but it's going to sweep away momentarily. Geo with the UMP is good for another one, and Lollipop getting up close and personal with the AK, double spray, and the Nemiga have got to a 12th. Winstrike's force buy is not successful.
No. Yeah, that round's actually such a great example of what Winstrike or what Nemiga were doing right on the CT side. Winstrike, Nemiga goes slow. They take ramp, they hold like Winstrike often did. But the issue there is Winstrike, Hobbit pushes ramp, then Bondik pushes short. These are separate fights that give Nemiga 2 picks with no trades into A. Nemiga never did that. If they wanted to fight ramp, they do it with 3 players or they wouldn't do it. So, they go in together and they trade. That's the key. Winstrike giving one-on-ones to Nemiga when they're grouped, that's only going to favor the T's. And yeah, just every idea, everything that Nemiga have planned to do has worked wonderfully in this game. And for Winstrike, every plan has been countered or denied. Maybe not this one though, a full flank that's not being watched right now. Unfortunately, it's on a full eco round.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be mosquitoes onto a windshield, those USPs, and they're going to get sprayed down in ramp speed up with 2, looking to pad them stats that little bit more. Not that he needs them. He's on 20 kills already, and his teammates are going to bypass that potentially sticky situation without too much of an issue. 13-5, and Winstrike, they're getting into their last lifelines on Vertigo. It's getting dangerously close.
Yeah, potentially 3 rounds till we're done. And that's kind of crazy to think that this is Winstrike's map pick. This is a map they've been looking so good on. And they may not even really get any rifle rounds on it. Elian's got the AWP. That could be something here for Winstrike. Lackey on the B-bomb site. And Nemiga, I like it as well, spread out. A bit more of a standard default. We've got a player contesting A. We've got a dude at the bottom of B. Players pushing middle as well, throwing grenades, but eventually backing up and grouping towards A late. Hobbit's pushed deep. Oh, this smoke fade could favor him if they're not ready for it. The nades are out, but oh no, the quick switch, and Box gets his gun back in time, killing Hobbit. It's traded by Bonding. There's support from the AWP. They swing Bonding. How does the AWP not save his life? I don't know, but it will respond. It will trade. Can it stay alive itself? Elian firing back. A Molotov will push him out of this position, and they're lining one up. He won't hit the shot. Krisen has to here, as he's the lone bastion of hope on this A site, getting away with one and able to disengage, going back to fight Box. This is for the bomb. This might be for the round, and he's got the drop on him as well. It's all on MDS on the wrong side of the map.
Does have a bit of time to play with, but as you highlight, the bomb in an awkward position, and he's going to have to be running up there. Additionally, they do have more than enough money to get another buy-in, of course. Nemiga, they won 3 in a row, so he may as well go for this. Molotov onto side, going to extinguish from that smoke instantly. HE tossed in, not going to do anything. And now Krisen has to hold the line. He's already picked up 2 this round. Flashbang over. Lackey is thinking about pushing, decides better of that decision. He knows that between him and Krisen, they have a good crossfire, changing up his angles of aggression. Perched up on the barrier. MDS rains down to Chris, and now 1 versus 1. Going to get it a little bit scary for Lackey. 15 seconds to go, and MDS clutches it down. And with the clutch, that could be the map following.
Yeah, that's a classic. AK is better than M4, right? Hits the dink for 91, but no more bullets. MDS just needed 1 of his own. And even though Lackey shoots first, he will be the one falling first. It's Nemiga on 14. And this has just been a masterclass, man. This has been absolutely savage stuff for Nemiga. The fact that this is the map pick of Winstrike, and we're going into Mirage, an 80% win rate map, and the second most played map of the pool for Nemiga. Oof, this bodes well for them.
Hefty damage inflicted through the scaffolding, but no casualties. It will be limping, but they will not be body bagged. Krisen with the smoke tosses it over to try and cordon off the area of side. And Nemiga haven't fully pushed behind it. So to be fair, Winstrike have at least held off, but this is where the lack of utility is going to start to catch up. They have 3 smokes left and 1 flashbang. No kits, and a lot of time left in this round.
The stalemate. With Molly's coming down late, clearing out everything. Short and sandbags combined, but no one here for Winstrike. They play inside of the site, and a 4th rotation coming in here as well. They've moved Elian over. Oh, the flashes are good. Box is going to get 1. He was blinded for a second, but they were blind for even longer, and all the kills going the way of Nemiga. Blink and you miss it. This round, this map, it may just be done. It's Lackey alone, and I mean, he's not got a lot to save. He's also not got a lot of chance to retake. So maybe you want to get out with that AK-47, but they will not allow that. Nemiga up to 15, and yeah, you can't ask for more. You really cannot. This has been a dominant game, and that's me putting it lightly.
Every bit as one-sided as the scoreline would suggest, and honestly, had it have not been for Winstrike mixing up their pace at the end, this could have already been like a 16-1, 16-2 kind of game. It sounds really brutal, but that is definitely the way this match has been coming down, and I'm surprised because I genuinely thought this was going to be a really close match, and so far it's been anything but. Winstrike, though, going to try and take the fight to Nemiga, 1-for-1 trade. A lollipop also tagged to 56. Smoke's now being deployed. Winstrike trying to hold on for dear life.
Nemiga going back towards A. Winstrike have gambled here. They've double pushed middle. This could allow them to flank fast, but it also leaves the A site vastly undefended. And once that bomb gets planted, Nemiga have so many more options available. Look at the amount of utility they've even got before the bomb's gone down. This flank needs to happen. It needs to happen here and now. Hobbit sneaking down the ladder, can't afford to make any noise. They are just separated by a wall, by a partition. And Nemiga will hear every footstep made. We smoke up on the short side. Bondik's going to get flashed into that position. But still a minute on the clock. Nemiga can afford to wait out utility with no issue. And they may do more than that. They may go back. Look at this rotation. They're starting to consider the flank. They actually won't stop. They're going to go towards A regardless. Hobbit isn't trying to flank them to beat them to the punch. He's trying to play retaker. That's a smart decision.
Decision pays off for Winstrike. 30 seconds left. Box now coming up with his AK entry onto the side. Bondik straight back in and retaliates and tries to banish the oncoming T's, and they have been successful. So it would appear that at the very least with a whiffed nade, it would appear that it should be at least one more round, although Nemiga are going to have Box charging onto the B site, and he will get a plant. So this is going to be a retake. They do have a kit and a flashbang, but if Box can position himself in a sweet spot and catch CTs off guard, this is still winnable for the T's, albeit unlikely. Box now waiting. Here's the footsteps and sees the shadow betraying the CTs. Ring around the generators. It's going to go the way of Winstrike, but 3 players go down. Their economy still in rough shape.
Yeah, it's excellent for Box. The fact that he's able to guarantee a plant, get a kill, and have a chance to win that round. Like, if he gets Ellie in there, it's a one-on-one versus a low HP Bondik coming from a predictable point of rotation. Like, that's his round, honestly. If he gets that second kill, that's his round. But, yeah, nice try. The money will give a little bit bonus to Nemiga, but not like they need it. I mean, look at their accounts. They're flowing. And no op for Winstrike either. They've got to buy, but I mean, you know, right now it's do or die. It's win every round or go to the second map of the series. A smoke up A short for Box here from spawn, so it's going to look like an A play, but will the bomb end there as well? We'll have to see.
It does seem like that last round probably will end up being a consolation at best, but you never quite know. CS is always a topsy-turvy game, and there's always twists at the end of the tales as Winstrike look to try and repel this A push again. Molotov's tossed towards the sandbags, not for the first time. No one is home from Winstrike. Grenade gets tossed. It doesn't really do anything in retaliation, so a bit of a stalemate has been put up on ramp, but Nemiga still have a very forward position to pivot off here, Hugo, should they decide to go for A. They've already made up a lot of ground.
Yeah, they could always bail B, but MDS has just left that position, so it seems like Nemiga are solidified in their decision to execute. Not like, you know, going into 3 players is going to be unexpected by any regard, so they know what they're up against. Their trading has been really good when going for A plays in the past, so let's see if that one remains the same. Molotov up on short should keep Elian out of aggressing here, unless he beats it, which he does, and Bondik beats a man on the ramp as well. Quick kills traded in the favor of Winstrike. That all keeps things alive, keeps things intact, but will the plant even be attainable here? Speedak hunting down kills with the bomb. That is a big risk, and he's going to hit the shot. Oh my, Speedak now in the clutch. He's lost his teammate in the sight. He knows where Bondik is, but the time just isn't there, and he might want to switch out guns quickly. Bondik's gone deep. Speedak still thinks there's a flank. He's going to try and tap the plant, but he's got his back turned. That's the round done to the time, and he might die after it as well. Lackey doesn't want to make the move, but it doesn't matter one bit. Speed up with the wrong read, but a really nice try of the clutch. That's 2 1-on-3s that he's brought down to 1-on-1s and subsequently lost.
Yeah, and again, the impact it has on the CTs is like they're getting their tooth and nail, crawling and clawing their way in, but MP9, 1 kit, nades aren't exactly as abundant as they'd like. So Nemiga are always keeping them in that striking distance. But that being said, Hugo, on the other side, 2 players now getting low on funds. Nemiga's starting to run out of money on top of that. So we're in a really interesting place in this game. The first pick, though, going to go from Speedak, and Hobbit gets stuck through the smoke.
Yeah, that's a V unlucky for Hobbit. Wallbang headshot through the smoke with an AWP. Just, ugh. The worst way to die. Honestly, I love the kill feed icons. I think that's such a great addition to this game to contextualize so much off-screen madness, but also, as a player, to see that you got absolutely cheesed can't feel good. Rushing up towards A for Nemiga. Gio's got another kill. They line up. He could have had a double there. He's done damage and got info. Lollipop can capitalize, and the Molotov has to be pushed. Elian now behind enemy lines. It's known, it's ascertained, and they will deliver the pain. It's only Lackey in a clutch that this time the timer won't be good to him. It's a bomb plant for Nemiga, and surely their chance to close out this map.
You'd certainly think so. Lackey, no grenades, does have a kit, can maybe try and tickle at and bring out some of the oncoming T's into his crosshair, but yeah, it's not looking good, is it? Gonna be tapping the bomb. First kill does go his way. A low MDS up against him. He goes for the wide swing, and there is Lollipop, and there goes our first map against Winstrike, who never, to be honest, Hugo, looked like they were in that match.
Yeah, that was a shocking one for Winstrike, all things considered. Like, you know, a map that we've seen them do a lot of work on in the past, and they look lost on the T side, man. A lot of A setups that never went anywhere, whether that be, you know, Winstrike eventually pushing into a stack, or even at times Nemiga aggressing on the CT side and either getting the info as to where the bomb was going or just killing the bomb as well.